Hi guys, how are you today? Great to see you tuning into the channel. Out doing a little bit of back road riding in the New South Wales state of Australia, and the weather's been dropping a bit lately and we're down to about 2 degrees. So I thought I'd come out and try this bike out along a bit of dirt road. I'm still on the windscreen idea, still working on that one, and I've actually just been to the hardware store and got a couple of extra bolts and that for it, and we'll carry on with that idea then. I'll just switch the camera around now. I think we'll head down this dirt track, see how it goes. Okay, that's nice and tight. I've actually pulled the screen off the 500X at the moment while I'm working on that windscreen buffeting, and I will say buffeting idea. I thought I'd come down this road and get a little bit more experience riding these dirt roads on the 500. I'll tell you what, but you guys, if you've got any good ideas, it's, like I said, down to around 2 degrees here in the morning temps now. Won't be long before winter's in, and I would say just a few weeks, 2 or 3 or something, that's going to be getting, we're going to hit our first frost. These tyres, what I've got on the bike now, I don't know, I think they're sort of more suitable for off-road running. So any of you guys that have got the 500Xs, can anyone give me some good advice? What sort of a set of tyres I should buy for the bike so that I can come along these dirt roads, especially later on when it's raining or it's muddy, and you know, they'll do the job pretty well compared to what I'm riding on now, which I find really, you know, a little bit on the wobbly side. The tyres I've got on the 190, those tyres really run along the dirt roads really good, but they're more like a straight out knobby tyre, where these are, I don't know, more probably road based. While I'm heading up this road, we might go up to, I'll show you an old shanty style house what they probably built 100 years ago, and naturally no one lives in it now because it's fairly well RS. But it's in a really nice spot up along this dirt road. But gee, there's a lot of loose gravel on this road, so it's not the road I'd be coming along pretty fast. But like I said guys, if you've got some idea on what would be a good set of tyres, like front and rear, for this particular bike, and although it's running along here all right, but you can see, you can feel the front wheel moving around on the road a bit, and it definitely doesn't feel as sure-footed or as planted as the XR190, because the XR190 I'd be going, not only doing 50 k's but an hour, but XR190 I could run along here a lot quicker than on that one. But there is an awful lot of loose crap on the road. But apart from that, I suppose I like the idea of riding on dirt roads, but in another way I don't like riding on the dirt roads because it's a little bit more dangerous compared to the seal type ones. But I did pick up a bit of confidence when I was on the XR190 riding dirt for the first time, so you know, these are nice roads to ride along, so it's not as if the scenery isn't nice. Look at that Rosella. But anyway, we'll head out to this spot where I might do an angle adjustment on the camera again, and we'll try something different angle. Swing around this way maybe, look into the scrub. Right where I'm now, years back, used to be heavily infested with rabbits. They were coming out here, hunting in all these paddocks. The only trouble was that, well, I mean, the only trouble that is it was 50 years back, so those rabbits are gone and country's changed a bit since then. But where I live, I've got plenty of these dirt roads like I'm on now to zoom around on. They're everywhere, so you know, you don't get tired of which one you want to run, because I've lived in the area all my life and I know exactly where all the dirt roads are, where I can go out zooming around and having a bit of fun. But I'd really feel a bit more confident if I had a decent set of tyres underneath. These are good on, I find these are really good on the bitumen, but it won't be long before we're coming into, say, 3 or 4 months straight of bad weather. Let's up the 100k and see what the wind resistance is like. Yeah, I'm riding at 100 kilometres an hour now, no screen. Bike still runs well. I'm used to running without a screen because naturally I haven't got one on the other bike. Gee, these brakes are good. Look at that. Okay, we'll head down this road because this is where this old house is. Look at that. Yeah, this bike runs well. You can really give it a workout along these back roads. Apart from once again a bit of a windy day, it's really not bad out on the bike. A lot of bird life out today too. Look at this for a nice sharper. And that burble from the exhaust. There's all these parrots out here today. They must be pretty happy to be out in the scrub too, but I haven't seen so many Australian parrots on the road. They're everywhere. All young mountain lowries. And anyway, we'll head up to where this old shanty house is and have a look at her. So yeah, this bike runs well. You can really carve up the kilometres. Okay, we're coming up to that little house here just over to me left now, so we'll might swing up there and I'll take a few photos. Tell you, this house I've always thought it'd be a good place to come back and run my metal detector over, just see if there's any coins or anything, but you might be able to see it now. I'll swing the camera around to the left, see if we can see it as I go past. And if so, I'll come back and park. We'll walk down. Okay, I'll just over there in the scrub, just there. Look at that little, what a ripper. Anyway, I'll turn back around. Park the bike and we'll go up and have a closer look. So there it is, in amongst the scrub. Try for a side profile shot of her. What do you think of that? Not bad, is it? We'll go in a bit closer. Work our way in and at that. Is that not a wild? Not sure if we can zoom in. Usually when I ride past this, the sheep are sitting around here, so they spend a lot of time in this old cottage. And even when you look further, as I crawl through this scrub, look at this nice rock wall they've put up. Look at that. But what impresses me most, look at the sheets of tin they've put down the side to stop wind blowing through the cracks. I actually photographed this little shack about 30 years ago, and I don't think it looked that much different to there, and it ended up hitting or was ended up used for one of the Australian postcards, and that was probably 30 years back when I took the photo. And the photo library bought the photo off me and used it as a sold it to another postcard mob, and it was on the Australian postcards of Outback Australia for, I don't know, it's probably there for 5 or 10 years. I'd say given the choice, I'd certainly like to run over this ground or the surrounding ground with a metal detector, because you'd most likely have to find something here for sure. Looks pretty positive. Doesn't really matter what side you look at. Look at that, they've used the sheets of tin and that to fill in the bloody cracks everywhere. And then when you look around here, I bet you this ground's got some history. Just below over there, you couldn't see, but there's a good creek down there. I used to go fishing down the bottom of that creek too. So one thing about this is history around where I live in all directions. But you don't find many of these shacks now standing. They're nearly all been pulled down, and the reason they pull them down, they don't want people like me or anyone else climbing over the fence, hurting themselves, and the next minute someone's trying to sue them. So the smart idea is, a lot of them think, rip it down, nobody gets into any problems, they don't get into any problems, and everyone's happy. But that's the way it is. I know at least half a dozen around here which were in good standing, and then similar to this, and then all of a sudden, for no reason at all, they just pulled it down. And I think the reason, like I said earlier, is people get over there and they're worried about getting sued or anything like that, so it saves problems. But anyway, that's something a bit of interest today. Another thing too, if you're riding along here or driving along in your car, you would miss this and pass it before you even knew it was there, because look how heavily protected it is just by all these trees. So if you're swinging down this way, look at that, it's virtually totally been eliminated. Anyway guys, let's carry on with today's ride. So hopefully you guys thought that was something of a little bit of interest. A lot of today's history in Australia is disappearing on a daily basis, so when you see something like that, it's always worth a pull over and check. Whip it on camera, because the next time you come back it may not be there. Now we go back onto the dirt. Don't forget guys, in case any viewers are still watching this far into the video, you can come up with some good ideas on what you think would be the ideal tyres. It'll sort of stop this bike moving around a bit on the dirt, and I can just get out here and ride along these dirt roads more safely than what I'm riding on now. Throw your thoughts in the comment and I'll check through them. And more importantly, another thing to think about, if you haven't subscribed or you haven't entered the giveaway competition, I think it's 1 week away now from closing, and the winner will be drawn then. So if you're interested in that idea of winning the outright prize of $200 cash or a set of Barkbuster handguards, by all means go to the video I put up, 5 best features on a CB500X, and enter on that site. Apart from that, all good. I notice not everyone's all that worried about whether they enter the competition or not, that it's there and it's a prize and it's up for grabs, and you know, just a matter of go and enter and see how you go. Well, we'll head, that's about concluded. Thanks for tuning in.